Mm-mm. Ugh. Yuck. Welcome, ladies and gents, to another edition of the We-On-Loc Nation channel. As we do about this time, here in this. Oh, and I almost forgot. Happy birthday to all my Cancers and Leos, or whatever. Happy birthday to all of yous, and to all of yous, I wish very well. I hope all is well with you. Now, back to our regular scheduled program. If you happen to like the channel, and if you like to support the channel, and go to We-On-Loc Nation, go on the Loc Nation channel, and support your boy. If you can't support your boy with a member, go ahead and support your boy with a like, a share, and subscribe. Now, so the two dumbasses I have on my thumbnail, one of them we know very well. He happens to be in our community. And it's quite, but I already made like 2, 3, 4 shorts about him. Like, just check him out. I didn't have to say much because he's getting dumped all over the internet like trash, all over the internet, all because of his inability to not stick his nose into people's business. Me personally, I would not stick my nose into a situation or an investigation that hasn't even been developed yet. I wouldn't even been in that realm. I wouldn't do it. But he happens to be that guy. So, and he happens to say stupid shit from time to time, saying that, Sandra Massey should have got shot she should have got shot in the head because she was about to pour boiling water on the cop, which is not true. Then he's going on and on how he hates the black community and all this other stuff. I was like, okay, cool, whatever. Then he goes after, comedians like D.L. Hughley. Now, D.L. Hughley and I, we don't share too. We're at two different places. We're this. I'm this way. He's this way. But there's one thing that we do have in common: is dumbasses who think they are something which they are not. Cop is a one of them. Detective is another. So, for those of you who have been hiding underneath the rock, Nolan Wells basically got killed by 2 white boys, or 3 white boys, as a matter of fact. Yes, I am stating that, and I'm stating that for a fact that if you return on the boat to shore, to that particular place that's in Mississippi, if you return without my child, and I said this before and I'll say it again, if I look at all 3 of you white boys in the face and I ask you, where's my child? And you say back at the island, there will be trouble. Because no matter what, everyone comes back together. But in this situation, Nolan Wells ended up drowning, or so they say. So what does Detective Inspector Stupid Ass, what does this Detective Stupid Ass has to say? Oh, they're making it all about racism. This is racially motivated, dumbass. Oh, this is racially motivated. I'm getting sick and tired of this racism. So he takes it upon himself to do the wrong thing. And that's trying to prove a narrative that white folk, I don't know why this is doing that. White folks aren't bad. You're racist. You don't know what you're talking about, and all this and all this and all this. So he goes on his own investigation, and he ends up finding the wrong thing. He ends up talking to these white boys that were supposedly, allegedly, Nolan's friends. So everybody's seen the video. Everybody has made videos about the video where he was speculating, and he was asking the wrong questions. He was asking, as a matter of fact, it wasn't the fact that he wasn't answering the wrong questions. It was the fact that he was answering pretty questions and not the hard questions. If me, if it were me, I'd have asked the kid. I was like, "Do you have any evidence or any video of any kind of Nolan Wells staying on the island?" Because there are two specific stories. One, he was on the boat. Two, he decided to stay on the island with some girl named Katie. If I'm wrong about the girl, please leave it in the comment section and let me know. But he decided to, quote unquote, stay on the island. We don't specifically know what happened on that island. We just know that foul play was in order. According to Detective Dumbass, he said there was no foul play. He just drowned. Just drowned. Or something happened to him on the island. Let's just say there were 1,000 people on that island. No one saw nothing. No one saw nothing. No one was investigated. There was no polygraph test being done. Obviously, this case is not done by a long shot. But you, Detective Dumbass, decided to take it upon yourself to prove everybody wrong. You seemingly do that all the time. It is time to cancel you out. It is time to mainly put you in your place. And I believe everyone is doing that on the internet. So I don't necessarily have to do anything. I'm just recapping because this keeps coming up on my timeline. And I don't really feel the need to cover this, but then again, I do, because this dude has been a thorn on my side for far too long. Far too long. Officer Tatum lies for money. Officer Tatum lies for attention. You are crying in front of the world because a person that you never knew. You talked about he was your best friend. I'm talking about Charlie Kirk. You talked about he was your best friend. I was like, I guess you're everybody's best friend. It was like, this person is my friend, and this person is my friend, and this person, you and Steven Crowder were hanging out with each other. And Steven Crowder is the biggest white supremacist ever. I'm surprised you didn't hang out with Richard Spencer. I'm surprised you didn't hang out with David Duke. You probably had. A failed football player, a police officer who has only been in the force for 6 years, doesn't have anything else to do but get on the internet and, along with your white wife, is on the internet criticizing black folks, including Dr. Umar. Now, let me ask you a personal question. Do you masturbate to this? I mean, do you literally get your rocks off just trying to expose black people? I mean, do you literally just get aroused out of this or something? Do you get like an actual pay? I mean, you are worth, according to the internet, $2 million. Well, you could have took that $2 million and you could have just, I don't know, did some real private investigative work, or you could have paid somebody to do some private investigative work. Now everybody's doing private investigations on you, sir, because you can't seemingly keep your mouth shut and your hands off of shit that you don't need to be putting your hands on or your mouth on. And this is where you get, yo, well, let me not say that.
Funny ex-comedian D.L. Hughley just said about me, posted a picture of me and my wife. To do what? To be a racist? You are the lamest dude in all of comedy.
What is more lame than calling yourself the job you used to have? You're not an officer anymore. You were a football player who failed at being a football player. You didn't make the team, so you became an officer. That wasn't working out, so you became an influencer. You talked about emotion. What is more emotional than this? The word. You cried for a white dude who the people didn't even think you worthy to speak at his funeral. You said you wouldn't cry for your son, but you cried for him. That's not emotion. You talk the way Benjamin Crump talks.
Just want to blame white folks. And so I go out there because I know that lame Al Sharpton and Mr. I can't read Benjamin Crump. It's just race hustling, y'all.
You talked about how those boys are innocent. You had proof. Now, I don't know whether they're innocent or not. I don't know what happened there. But I know one conversation with a failed football player and a social media influencer is not the predicate. You don't have any toxicology report. You don't have an autopsy report. You talk about black people acting a fool. Black people are right to be suspicious of a state that took 31 years and 3 trials to prosecute and find guilty the murder of Medgar. Black people are right to be suspicious of the state that in 2005 found 215 black people that were dead and buried in a pauper's grave and nobody knew they were there. Black people are right to be suspicious of a state that just killed a 1-year-old boy and nobody's being brought to account about. Black people are right to be suspicious of a state that has been poisoning black people with the water since the 1960s. Black people didn't look for this fight. They want justice. All they want is accountability. And if it's those boys, it should be that. Nobody has a predetermined notion. I don't know what happened. But if you're saying that Al Sharpton and that Benjamin Crump are on one side, you're certainly on the other. You talk to them for 2 days and now all of a sudden you know if they're guilty. You know if they're innocent. You know that. Your name is, your moniker is Officer Tatum, not Detective Tatum. You didn't make your way to detective. You're an influencer who says what white people want you to say. And don't you find it interesting that they chose to speak to you, and they chose to speak to you for the same reason that you're a conservative, for the same reason Turning Point did, because you're safe. They know you're a black man who'll do what he's told. You're an unremarkable black man. This is Brandon Tatum.
Y'all just see what unfunny ex-comedian D.L. Hughley just said. He posted a picture of me and my wife. To do what? To be a racist?
No. They posted of you and your wife because both of you are a bunch of dumbasses that literally are literally doing live streams together, trying to expose the black community of what it is. I don't know why her mouth is on the muzzle on that microphone every time she speaks, where she doesn't know shit about the black community. But you do. And that makes it 10 times as worse, because not only are you married to a white wife, you are married to the system. You are married to the system of white supremacy. So when you say out your mouth that you hate black people, you just like the conservative ones, and then you turn back around and say, I don't hate black people. That just puts you in the dumbass zone. I literally have nothing else to report to you about other than you might get sued. According to reports, The Nolan family are desperately trying to find out what happened to their boy, because nearly they have 6 kids. They have 6 kids, two sets of twins, and they are literally trying to find out, honestly and righteously, what happened to their kid. And they don't need a house Negro running around causing lies and deceitfulness um, amongst them. Even though you think you're trying to do favors for them, but you're not doing favors for them. You're doing more harm than good. Goofy. Um, 1 minute, I mean, of course, you call her out her name. You call the mother out of her name, but yet then you want to go on your page, which is 300, which is, excuse me, 3 million strong, right? Most of them white. But anyway, you go on your platform and you want to interview them on their platform. When you can't get them, you want to interview, what's his name? Benjamin Crump. You want to interview Benjamin Crump and try to expose him. But if it serves me right, weren't you on Nancy Grace's show? And she exposed your dumb ass for who you really are, because you couldn't even keep your story straight on the fact that when you were on the island, you could get good reception or not too good reception. Stating that the boys had video, alleged video, great video on Nolan Wells, right? But how is that when you cannot get good reception, but you can get good video? Does that make any type of sense? So that woman exposed you. Who's my man? I'll think of his name in a minute. Pretty much everybody exposed you. Everybody's doing video up on you. It's time to cancel this nigga. It's time to put a seal lock. I'm Doctor Strange, and I'm gonna do a Doctor Strange. Hey, I want to give a shout out to not what is his name? Not Jason Voorhees. My mind is not working for some strange reason. I was helping my family move, and boy, I accidentally hit my head on that board post trying to lift that big ass couch up the steps. I accidentally hit myself. She said, "Stop! I'm drinking juice." No, I literally hit. I was helping my family move, and that couch was no joke. I'm thinking I'm Hercules. I'm Atlas, and I'm lifting this thing. It's like, yeah, I can lift it on the truck. We lifted on the truck, no problem. All of a sudden, my back goes. Long story short, we take it over to the new house. We trying to decide how we gonna get this damn thing into the house. Getting it in the house was easy. Trying to get it up the steps, when the steps, there's 10 flights of steps here, you gotta curve it, and then there's 10 flights of steps going up the steps. This thing must have weighed like 400 pounds. 400 freaking pounds. Like, share, and subscribe. Hello, everyone. Hello, just coming to the live. We're just amazing. Oh, Amazing Lucas. I want to give a shout out to the Amazing Lucas, doing an extraordinary job. I don't have to do any other videos or tutorial or any of that nature for a piece of shit like this. Because like I said before, these people, these hardworking, good people. We don't know them. They don't know us. We don't know what happened. Allegedly, we all know from his side of the aisle of his reporting, lame reporting, what these people actually did. When we caught them in a couple of lies. But he supposedly, allegedly took a polygraph test. What was the name of the polygraph test? Well, I will. Let me stop talking. This is too important.
Spewing lies after lies after lies. And guess what? We're going to get into exactly what lies he's actually spewing. As soon as I can get my dang on computer to act right. There we go. We're going to get into it. And if you guys don't recall, during that CETO call, when asked where they were, the coordinates were provided. If you were to put those in Google, it's going to tell you he was on Horn Island. But in the call, the CETO dispatcher stated in so many words, she wanted to know, was they at the shore or were they out, like in the ocean? The caller stated that they were in, I believe, 31 feet of water. Went from 17 to 31 feet of water. I want you guys.
And keep a reminder. At one point, one of the boys said that the water, or the boys that Brandon was interviewing, said that the water was gloomy. And at another point, he said the water it was so nice out there and the water was clear. Two different stories. And it's sad that judges are covering this up. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep continuing listening to this video. Shouts out to Lakeisha Keisha for doing an extraordinary job on this video.
To understand that fake Officer Tatum said that when their boat broke down, they were right there on the shore. Let's get into it. And then I got some information as it.
Hold on. Your boat broke down, but yet you ended up in two different places? So your boat, let's just say for the sake of argument, because I've never been on a boat. I've never been on those particular boats before. I've been on jumbo boats. Let's just say for the sake of argument that something was wrong with the boat and the boat got leaked. Why are we leaving people behind? Call a Coast Guard, let them know what's up, and have the Coast Guard meet you at the place where all of us are attended, including Nolan. And let's not get into the autopsy.
Relates to Bart's mother allegedly posting some stuff on social media. And this goes to what I said originally, that they are all working together with this narrative. Remember, now the narrative is somebody saw Nolan after 4 o'clock. In fact, they pinpointed it and said 6 o'clock. Who is this somebody? Where is this somebody? Why come this somebody can't come and just tell us what they saw? Why? So how is it that they're conducting a secret investigation, but these people know about this secret person? Then, of course, it was Nolan was on, that stuff. Okay, he was on whatever stuff they was talking about.
I did also hear about that. Also, now all of a sudden, well, one, he was drunk, and then the next minute he was on that stuff. Like, what stuff are you talking about? Drugs? See, this is what people like. This is what murderers do. You have to clean up. You have to clean up everything. You have to clean up the boat, which I do question the so-called civil rights. Again, I don't know anything about Benjamin Crump other than he's a civil rights leader. I don't know why he didn't allow the Bayou people to have those dogs go on that boat and do some detective work on that boat, because murderers don't clean up thoroughly enough unless you're willing to set some shit on fire. You don't clean up thoroughly enough. You should have had the dogs go up there and be a part of this investigation. But apparently that did not happen.
There's a lot of lies being planted, but this Officer Tatum has been busted blatantly lying. Let's get into it.
That's sad too.
All right, well, let's try to get you going because you don't have good cell phone reception. Can you verify your coordinates one more time?
Okay, my coordinates are 30 degrees by 14.684 north, and then west by 88 degrees by 46.79.
All right, looks like you're on Horn Island, correct? Are you on Horn Island?
Yes.
All right, is the boat sinking or you have it aground?
We were sinking, yes.
Is it aground is the question?
Did you hear what she said? She said ground, meaning are they on the shore? Listen to what he says.
No, we're not on the ground. We are in 17 foot of water. We're in 31 foot of water.
All right, have to ask.
You guys heard that. He said they're not on the ground, meaning shore. I had to figure it out. Like, what does he mean?
Let's get to
now. We're going to quickly. I want you to listen to this and what he says.
And here's a video of the actual towed out.
Keep in mind, he says, here's a video of the actual boat they're getting towed out. We don't know if this is a picture of what was happening that day. This is no proof whatsoever. But what you're going to learn is somebody that's supposed to be allegedly Bart's mother is having the same exact talking points as the fake ass Officer Tatum. Pay attention.
Do you see Nolan on this boat whatsoever? Now, I did this so we can get context. Now, the nut job lunatics that want to believe what they want to believe, don't worry about them. I'm talking to those of us who really care about getting to the bottom of this. And just hold on with me because we got to get to the new stuff that I just heard before we run out of time.
First of all, when you analyze and you look at the picture, that boat's too small. The guy that he interviewed said he was allegedly not on the boat with Nolan. So you mean to tell me there were two different boats? Again, someone is lying.
So that's a video of that. Now let me present something else to you, because this is a video of what it looked like. And Nolan is in this video. We'll put the video up. Nolan is in this video. Put it on the screen. Pause it.
You know, this Negro is tampering, literally tampering with the investigation. How the fuck are the Nolan family ever going to find out specifically what happened if you have idiots like this? And I'm literally calling you a fucking idiot. Gonna actually get the right type of evidence, get the right type of investigation started. Or you got back the autopsy, and the autopsy came basically incomplete. Because 1, stomach was missing. 2, neck, part of his neck was missing. His brain was missing. But everybody's going is like, well, he has this big gash in the back of his head. He was getting beat. And he was thrown. Now, this is my part. Now, I will repeat, We-On-Loc am not a private investigator. I'm going based on my opinion and my opinion alone. This is not to be recorded. This is not to be copied or pasted. This is just simply my opinion. So they literally got into they got into a fight. They got into an altercation over some type of disagreement, and I guess they literally jumped on him, beat him down, and literally just threw him in the water. Literally just threw him in the water. They went back, got dressed, came back and started cleaning up and started suddenly called the Coast Guard and blah, 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 whatever. Obviously what you heard in that tape or whatever. Got dressed, went to I think they went to Olive Garden or something like that, allegedly, came back on the boat and started cleaning up. And say the boat was sinking. That boat that you just saw is literally too small. The boat that I saw, the boat that you literally saw with the pictures with Nolan in the picture and the 3 white boys, 2 on this side, 1 on this side. You mean to tell me that boat was big enough for four of them sitting in the edge of the boat? Still stupid.
Right here. So this was sent to us as well. I'm sure this video is circulating anyway. If you look at the boy in the blue shorts, right where his butt is at, you move over at the edge of the boat in his butt, and that's actually Nolan standing in the water right there. I'm going to have the team play the video and pan it so you can see what environment they were in. Similarly, when the boat began to sink. Roll the clip. Pause. Do you guys see how many people are out there?
So
play it again. Do you guys see how many boats are out there? So this is where the boat is at when they begin to become distressed.
Okay. You guys get it. He said this is where the boat was when they began to become distressed. Essentially, drawing the conclusion that what we heard and what was put out online as to the Sea-Tow call, he's saying, how did that happen when all of these people were there? Let me make sure you guys understand. It doesn't really matter who was there because generally people are minding their own business anyway. There's been a multitude of crimes that have been committed and people didn't see it. But in this case, we hear music, right? Guess what we didn't hear on that Sea-Tow call? We didn't hear any of that. So I don't believe that this guy is telling the truth. We're going to listen to a couple more minutes of this, and then we're going to divert back to the Sea-Tow call.
Right in this area. As you can see how close they are to the land.
You see, he said, you can see how close they are to land. She just asked him on the phone. What did he say? We're in 31 feet of water. They're not in 31 feet of water.
You can see where the coordinates were at, right there. So when they're taking in water, when their boat is beginning to sink, because it's anchored, it's happening right there. So for somebody to believe that this dispatch call is a desperate call with Nolan laying dead in the middle of their boat, that does not make sense. And
that does not make sense. Well, not to an idiot, because we didn't create this. We're just reviewing the content.
Thank God for judges, certain ones. There is one particular judge from Detroit, Michigan, that when he reviewed, oh, Jesus Christ, when he reviewed the message that was let me see if I can get it. Let me see. What else? Let me see if I can find it. When he reviewed the video, not the video, but the audio. When he reviewed the freaking audio tape, he heard something a little different. Where's the anchor? Correct.
So the woman that Nolan was talking to, her name was Katie, and her sister Gracie came out and said that Nolan, he actually intended to go back to the mainland with his group.
And didn't she say they hadn't spent a lot of time together while they were there? He didn't stay back specifically to spend a lot of time with her, or they didn't spend a lot of time together, Katie and...
This is Judge Mathis. Judge Mathis, one of the good ones, one of the good guys.
Nolan. And so that kind of defeats the whole explanation that he insisted. We just kept, get on the boat, get on the boat. Come on, Nolan, you got to get on the boat. You got to get on the boat. And he doesn't, and that, as it turns out, there's no sense of desperation for him to stay off the boat because he has nothing really cooking, if you will, at the moment, to be so insistent at being left behind without a ride back.
Yeah, the stories are conflicting. You got Nolan friends saying that he wanted to stay at the island, but you got Katie's sister Gracie saying that Nolan, he intended to go back with his group. So
yeah, a lot of moving parts, and I'm waiting to see about this grand jury and see what they say. Because
oh, I almost forgot. Did you know that when Nancy Grace covered this story, that she ended up getting death threats? So, and also to the mayor of Mississippi, you know what you can do with a. I'm trying not to trigger the YouTube algorithm, because I've been getting quite the what you would call it, the slap on the wrist type of thing because of what I say. And I thought this was a free country. I mean, the First Amendment said you have a right to voice your opinion, right? I guess with this is not the case. Because when you have the mayor of Mississippi trying to shut civil rights leaders down or shut civil rights activists down because they want justice, and they want justice for the parents whose boy who's gotten killed, or their daughter who has gotten murdered. Obviously, see, what people don't know, and what Brandon probably doesn't know or doesn't give a shit about, Mississippi has a rich history of racism, doesn't it not? And for those who live in Mississippi, for those who have grandparents and great grandparents who are hopefully still alive and live in Mississippi, you know that Mississippi has a rich history of racism. Rape, hangings, decapitations, you name it. I want everybody to look at an old movie called Mississippi Burning. You can you can YouTube it, Mississippi Burning. This was an actual, real, true story. An actual true story about 3 activists, 2 white, 1 black, and they're going around the world, and they're preaching this stuff about unity. So they go down to Mississippi and they do what they had to do, but they can't go back because they're being pulled over by a racist cop. And when they're pulled over by a racist cop, they ended up going to jail, but they end up getting away free until, well, the Klan show up. When the Klan shows up, of course, the black boy gets it, but the white boys get it much worse. So it is what it is.
Because it's based on how the prosecutor presents that case to the grand jury. Grand jury hearings are one way. You don't have those who testified at the grand jury do not have the ability to have legal counsel. They are questioned by the prosecutor in front of the grand jury with the questions and the objectives that the prosecutor is trying to achieve.
Well, I don't know why it might surprise you. It may not. It may make sense to you. Then again, it may not. I don't know why it doesn't make sense to you. This is the reason why history is formed. History is made. History will tell you that whites, not all, but whites have a racist concept and practice it, and has been practicing it ever since the 1500s. So, I mean, you can look up the Atlantic slave trade. You can look up, you can look up Jim Crowism. You can look up who Willie Lynch was. You can look up all that stuff. You can literally look up all that stuff, and it may not seem to make sense to you right now in 2026, which it should do, because you have a prejudiced person in the White House. You have a prejudiced person in the White House that tends to have a rich history, along with his father and his grandfather, of them both being prejudiced towards black and brown people. You can't make this shit up.
No defense attorney can say objection, or they can say, let me tell you an alternative scenario or narrative that doesn't occur. So I don't like grand.
We're going to get to Trump in a little bit.
Jury in and of itself, I think grand juries should be abolished. But in the case of, in this case, we have to trust that the prosecutor wants to be fair. and not protecting, as has been the case in the history of Mississippi over the decades. Protect those who have been accused of racial hostility and racial killings. And so that's what we hope we're not seeing, a cover up. That's the best way to put it. And so,
well, first and foremost, I mean, I love the judge, but we got to get to the meat and the potato. God damn it. We got to get to the meat and the potatoes of the thing. The only thing that I'm interested in, let me see. Did he have the, hopefully he had the tape here. Hold on. No. While I'm looking at, well, if she wanted to look all that up, she has the capability of looking that up herself. It's all in you can look these things up in the libraries. They have museums, which Donald Trump wants to rearrange history and say that white folks are being mistreated and being violated and being what was it? He was being not profiled. What was it? He was being I'll think of it in a minute. But the reverse racism thing with Trump is literally mind blowing. But all right, this is it.
Check your phone right quick. I want to get your take on
now. Mind you, this is the actual.
Tito Assistance, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our village pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Ankles? Hello?
Hey.
Yes, how far is the water coming up, sir?
It's coming up. We're just sinking. I don't know. Like we're going down.
That I did not know that existed. And if this is authentic radio transmission between the dispatcher and the caller, then certainly this turns it on its head. They're observing him injured, asking if he's dead. Whoever on that call, with the technology we have now, and with interviews amongst the folks who were there,
yep,
or the phone that the emergency call came from, the dispatcher has that number.
Yep,
someone can get it. Then you'll go to the person who made the call and say, "What did you see?" This is real easy if that is the case. So we'll see what they do with this evidence. The fact that there's some audio from the dispatcher where the person calling asks, or in the background, one or the other, asks, "Oh my God, is he dead?" So that's a whole new level of evidence that I'm interested in seeing where they go with that. And perhaps that's what the prosecutor may have all of this information and say, we're not sharing it because we don't want to bias, we don't want to create bias, et cetera, in the case because in the media, and she may have that. She may have that and take it right to the grand jury. That's what I'm hoping, if they don't disclose it to the widespread media this week.
Yeah, I don't know how you can justify that audio.
And not with some,
which Brandon Tatum unjustifiably has done. And again, he may be sued for this. So all I'm going to say to Mr. Tatum, you need to be canceled. You're too dangerous. You are way too fucking dangerous. Or, racism doesn't exist. I mean, what was this dude doing? I mean, I know you're trying to get a paycheck and all, but no, he's gonna end up canceling himself. I got way too much to do on my plate. You're gonna end up fucking around and ended up canceling yourself. With this, like, mind you, the internet's already on you, like flies to shit. The internet, other than a couple of white folks here and there. One of them, like I said, his name was Steven Crowder. You can look up Steven Crowder. Then there's this other guy that was on Fatty's channel, and of course you end up calling out D.L. Hughley. D.L. Hughley just basically puts you in your place. I mean, again, I don't have to say much more else other than I hope the Wells people get justice. But you have to put your foot down and say, we don't need interference from anybody. Let the investigators investigate the situation. Let the activists do their job. I don't know if Al Sharpton needs to be involved in this. I mean, I don't trust Al Sharpton, but to each his own. Let the players play. Let the investigators do what they do, and you need to go ahead and just sue this guy. You need to just sue Officer Tatum for his involvement in something that he doesn't need to be involved in. All right. Now, to another dumbass. Transitioning to another dumbass. Do you know that Trump is again wasting your money on a or what was the number? $22.8 billion on an international airport in Washington? Do you know he is obviously taking the money? Now, I have a question for you. If you think that, and again, I'm transitioning. If you think that this is a smart move or a lame move, let me know. But during when I'm playing the video of this dude making a lame ass move to upgrading something that doesn't need to be upgraded. I mean, he literally is trying to touch things and trying to make them better with your tax dollars. Meanwhile, the economy is still suffering. Gas prices, like I told you last week, shot out through the roof. Groceries are still high. Energy costs are still high. It's the same. It's the same old shit. Same old. And he's doing it with your tax dollar. But I want you to hear this. You're not hearing this personally from me. I want you to hear this from the horse's mouth.
At United Airlines waiting for this day, and all the people of United Airlines have been even longer waiting for the day that we could have really the best airport in the world. And this design is one that works great for the airline. The president talked about how it works great on the outside for the airline, but it's going to be a beautiful airport inside for customers. It's something that all of us at United, but really all Americans will be able to be proud of, having an airport when people come into the Capitol that really represents what the United States of America stands for. So I'm proud of it as a CEO of United, but proud of it as an American as well. That's right.
It's going to be a great one. Thank you. In fact, thank you for your help. And Trent, would you like to say something?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President, for your leadership on this. On behalf of the MWA board, this is something that everyone's tried to do for decades, and no one's been able to get it done. And without the president's leadership on it, we'd be back in square one. So thank you for your leadership on this project. Thank you to United and the Department of Transportation for moving this along as quickly as possible.
One of the things that is interesting, they were going to build this over a 60-year period. They were going to start with a little section here, a little section there, and that wouldn't have worked. It wasn't a design like this, but it wouldn't have worked. So we're doing it all at one time. It'll all be completed, and it'll be beautiful, and it'll be something very special. Just say something.
Thank you, Mr. President. I really want to thank the Airport Authority and United Airlines for your partnership, the board of the Airport Authority. Your partnership is critical to make this happen. I know you had a plan to improve the airport, but as the president said, it was a long-term plan. We thought it was too modest, too slow, too modest. And
60 years isn't too modest.
Decades. But with the president's attention and focus on this, it's accelerated, it's expanded, and we're actually going to realize the vision, and a much greater vision now. So it's a very exciting day for Washington, for the whole nation.
Well, these people have all been fantastic, and they want to see it get done and get done properly, and it should be done as one airport, not being built in chunks, which would have been, frankly, a catastrophe, I think. So thank you very much. You have any questions?
Thank you, Mr. President. Very quickly on this issue, did you just say 2 years? It was in 2 years.
I don't care for this. For the sake of argument, I really don't give a damn about any airport needing upgrading. You know why? Under this administration, you had umpteenth time. You've been in this office for almost 2 years, and yet we are in a war that we don't need to be in. You spent over $1.8 billion off of something I truly forgot. Because if you add up all the numbers, none of it makes any sense. Add up all the numbers. This was a $22.8 billion project. And I'm sorry, the slush fund. The $1.8 billion came from a so-called slush fund. And you are going to fund it to whom? Your January 8 buddies. You want to go ahead and build this big loft. I call it a loft, which you would call it a ballroom with thick glass windows and a protective or some type of protective shield, as if anybody is going to just wait for you to come out and just basically just do their job. I'm not going to say anything else. So, and with this, so you have that, you have the war, you bought 2 planes. You have a plane, but you bought another jumbo jet from our enemies, mind you. An old jumbo jet, and made it your personal jumbo jet. Then you reward your buddies from the Department of Defense. You reward your buddy. You spent a certain amount of money. But yet the economy, inflation sucks. Healthcare stinks. The economy itself sucks.
I think we can get it started fairly quickly. It's largely financed. And we need some approvals from Congress probably, but generally speaking, it's been very bipartisan.
And then on the drone attack on the LNG tanker off of Egypt, what can you tell us about that? And is there any indication it's Iran related? Does it represent?
Well, I can give you a report. I've been briefed. It's a little more of the same, but it's going to be straightening out. It's going to be straightening out. In the meantime, we're going to be hitting them very hard because it's our turn to hit them. They know it's coming. They're asking us not to do it, but they tried shooting it last night. So we had 5 rockets shot going 8,500 miles an hour, and all 5 rockets were knocked down to the ground. But they nevertheless took a shot. So it's our turn, and we'll see if we get there with an agreement at some point. But we're going to hit them very hard.
Mr. President, first on this, is this expected to affect any incoming or outgoing flights?
No, we think we can do it without a lot of disruption, very little.
And then
it might even be better.
On Leader Thune, what's your reaction to him saying that there's no evident path to success on killing the filibuster or passing the State of America Act?
Well, that's too bad for him. I mean, that's too bad for him and too bad for the Republican Party.
Do you believe that?
He's got the votes. He should get it done. He should be able to get it done.
Wait, you trashing your own party? Well, he's used to doing that.
Fauci invoked the Fifth Amendment more than 100 times today. Yeah. Senator Rand Paul said he's going to hold a vote on holding him in contempt of Congress. Do you think Dr. Fauci should face repercussions for this?
Well, I watched the whole thing today, but more importantly, I was a part of the whole Fauci. I inherited Fauci. He was here from the 1980s, so I had him for a period of time. And I disagreed with him on a lot. I would have had to close down the whole country if I listened to him. I went the Federalist way, which is basically to let the governors decide. And generally speaking, the Republican governors did very well. The Democrat governors did not very well. But Fauci wanted to have nobody wearing masks, if you remember, and then everybody had to wear 5 masks, as many masks as you could get. I mean, made a lot of mistakes. And he wasn't a big factor for me. He was a very big factor for Biden. And if you remember, even though we were prime time in terms of that whole disaster of COVID, far people died fewer in the Trump administration than in the Biden administration.
That's a lie.
We ran it well. Operation Warp Speed was talked about as being one of the great success stories anywhere in the world, actually.
That's a lie.
And we did a good job. But many more people.
Operation Warp Speed, giving the COVID shot to our elderly grandparents, with whom many have died. So, no, it wasn't a success.
People died under Biden, then died in the Trump administration from COVID. COVID was a disaster, but Fauci did not help.
Do you think that the DOJ should reopen the investigation into the auto pen, specifically pertaining to Fauci?
Well, the only thing you can really think about is the auto pen, because the most powerful thing the president has, they say, is the power of pardon. So he was pardoned by Biden, and I respect that. I know how powerful it is. It's a very powerful, they say it's literally the most powerful thing a president has. Now, whether or not I sign my things directly, always, almost everything I sign directly. You're with.
Now that we take a small commercial break, I want to thank everybody for staying up late with me. And I know this is like Pacific Coast time. People are on the East Coast. If you are actually watching this, thank you for the support. If you can't support in other ways, then support me by sharing, and subscribing to the channel.
There's so many of them. He signed very few. The only thing I know that he signed was Hunter Biden's pardon, but I'm not sure that he signed. He probably didn't sign.
Yeah, they would have booted you out.
So I can't tell you what the law is. I've heard that
he would have get that N-word out of here. Get him out of here.
The person operating the auto pen has to know exactly what it's all about. He didn't know what it was about because I saw him testify. So maybe there's something on the auto pen. Other than that, The power of pardon is very powerful.
Thank you. That's GB News. We've just heard you talking about another example of American excellence. That's really what this is, a project where you're striving to be the best in the world. As a Brit, that's really striking to me. You've had a couple of weeks to get to know our new Prime Minister. Have you spoken to him much? And do you think he is the man to lead us to excellence?
Well, he did say one very good thing. He said he's going to open up North Sea oil. If he does that, you're going to be a wealthy country. If he does it reasonably. I was telling Prime Minister Starmer, open up the North Sea. Open it up. You'll be okay. Open it up. They have two problems. They have a huge immigration problem. People coming from all over the world and just camping out in your country. And we've taken a very tough stand. In fact, for 14 months, nobody has come into our country. Zero, which is almost hard to believe, but that's what the report says. Our borders become very strong, and your border's very weak. He's got that problem, and he's got energy problem. He's got windmills all over the place, and anytime you see windmills, you see a failing country. And
we have windmills. Correct me if I'm wrong, but windmills has something to do with saving energy, reserving or saving energy. It's just like putting those energy things on the top of your roof, which can definitely help you save a lot of money on your electric bill. Can definitely save you a lot of money. So this dude doesn't know anything about energy. Doesn't know anything about AI. He only knows what he knows through different sources. Solar panels. Thank you.
Made in China, not used by China, but they're made in China. And you have a thing called the North Sea, and you buy a lot of your energy, as you know, from the North Sea. You buy it from Norway, and Norway gets it from the North Sea. They get their oil from the North Sea, and Norway's got trillions of dollars in the bank. Trillions.
We could have trillions of dollars here, and we're practically the richest country in America. Sorta. Again, didn't his first administration drill, baby, drill? Y'all remember that? His first administration, second administration, drill, baby, drill. We're gonna drain the swamp of illegal immigrants and blah 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 blah. We're gonna go. Well, they've been into Africa. They've been to Africa. They've been to Venezuela. They're invading Turkey. They're invading Iceland. They're invading Iceland. They're sticking their nose in Cuba. They are basically going all around the world due to 3 influencers. One of them is Israel. Ladies and gentlemen, if we have to endure another war, which is World War III, which we probably won't even get into all that. And noticing that everywhere I go, I keep hearing this goofy shit about the clock of doom, which the clock of doom meaning that going into their last resort, they're going to end up pushing the big button and letting those rockets fly and possibly hitting so-called, allegedly, don't quote me on this, the United States of America. Which is a bunch of bullshit because it all goes back to 1999 where everybody was like, the walls of something like the walls of Jericho or Y2K. I'll say if you don't get, I was like, and I was what, 19 years old at the time. I was like, what about that T2? Well, the lights are gonna go out. Blah 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 blah. 12 o'clock hit, the lights were still on. So you have to believe whatever you want to believe. If he's not, ladies and gentlemen, he is not going to push that button. Number one, he doesn't have the courage to push the button because he has too much to live for, or how many years he has left. Number two, he is still, he's taking money. Him and the people, him and the people who he's working with, they're just taking money right now. They ain't gonna risk bombing another country and have another country bomb us because he doesn't know how to keep his damn mouth shut on True Social. He's not gonna risk all that.
It sells its oil from the North Sea, and Scotland has a better part of the North Sea, and you have 500, 600, 700.
Oh, and by the way, aren't we, if we're so-called the richest country on earth, why aren't we drilling? I just want to ask that question. Why aren't we drilling? Because America, believe it or not, is very, very, very greedy. And for damn near 60 years, we've been fighting the same war over and over again for oil, good people, for oil. I once thought Venezuela had the biggest oil refinery in history. I might be dead wrong on that. Why aren't we drilling?
Years, you have areas of the North Sea that haven't even been explored yet. You have one of the most valuable oil finds anywhere in the world. And if the United Kingdom would use it,
I hope you liked it.
Country again. And I tell you what, I could not get Starmer to use it. It was incredible. Every oil company that I meet, and
waiting for Iran to take them out.
Every person that I know in the oil business said, please, could you open up the North Sea? Could you get them to open it? They're dying to do it. And if you open up the North Sea to the oil companies, Scotland, Ireland,
then we should be drilling
as a whole. But it's right in Aberdeen, Scotland. It's right in Aberdeen, and that would be one of the most vibrant. You know, it used to be called the oil capital of Europe. Aberdeen was the capital of Europe, and now it's they don't drill oil. And nobody can understand why. You have it's among the finest oil, it's the best oil anywhere on the planet, and it's unbelievable plenty. You don't have to pay Norway triple what it costs them to take out. You have your own oil and gas. If you use the North Sea, the UK will be a really rich country. I cannot get the point across. The new gentleman.
Have you ever noticed whenever he's in front of the media like this, he babbles a lot, but when he's out or this is the press rather, but when he's out in the media about to make a big press conference, he ends up reading off a script as if he wrote the shit.
When I spoke to him, he said he's going to open up the North Sea. Let's see if that happens.
The Fed today voted to keep interest rates unchanged. Are you surprised by that? Are you disappointed in any way with Kevin Warren?
No, Kevin's fantastic, but he's got a board. Yeah, Kevin's got a board. He's fantastic. He's a brilliant guy, smart. I know I'd love to see lower interest rates, but he's got a board, and it's a political board, and they want to keep rates up. But we fight through rates. We have the strongest investment ever made in a country, of any country. It was China about 13, 14 years ago. We have far greater, 19 point, even Jensen would say that's a lot. 19, and Jensen's spending a tremendous amount of money by hundreds of billions of dollars. He happens to be in the room. He's spending more than United, actually. He's spending 10 billion. And Jensen's spending hundreds of billions, right? I don't know. That's not a bad business. But no, we have 19.2 trillion. So it's the biggest number ever spent in any.
Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. No. Hell no. That's just no. You got, but if you're not a millionaire, then if you're not, excuse me, I said that wrong. If you're not raking in 9 figures, if you're not raking in 8 figures, you're raking in 7 figures. But that's like tier one to these people. They don't care about your situation. They'll throw you a bone every now and again. This is why I say the elections, the midterm elections are very, very important. Why are the midterm elections very, very important? Because we want to get this son of a bitch out of office. And number two, we're stuck with a bill. We are stuck with a bill for the next 9 years. So I want you to don't be surprised if, of course, if we do win the midterms, and we are going to win the midterms, expect the Republicans to pull out something abnormal. Fair warning.
Any country by far, and that's over a period of 1 year. As an example, as you know, the Biden administration for 4 years did much less than 1 trillion. We're doing 19.2 trillion in 1 year. So we have things that are happening in our country, the likes of which nobody's ever seen. Plants and factories are moving in. Toyota just announced they're building one of the largest car plants anywhere in the world, and truck plants anywhere in the world. We are building more.
What the fuck is he talking about? We still got those plants now. Those plants ain't never. The only people that went anywhere was GM. We have one GM plant in Delta, Michigan. One GM plant. Those plants ain't coming back over there. He can't bring those businesses back. And he's not going to. And this is the reason why he made up if they did come back, how come he did not announce the ownerships of those plants? Number one. Number two, why is he spending $22 billion and upgrading something that really doesn't need to be upgraded? And One Unite is, and by the way, America United has a history of racism, a history of harassing people. No one should be flying. Oh, wait a minute. You are upgrading Washington's International Airport, but yet there's no more Spirit Airlines? You remember Spirit Airlines was the cheapest airlines to fly, right? There ain't no more Spirit Airlines.
Automobile plants now that at any time in the history of our country.
In particular, this is just one of several projects that you have underway in the DMV. Why would you say that you're so focused on
some of those plants are still there? Yeah.
Well, this is an important one. This is travel. So in terms of the importance, I think the Arc is going to be incredible. I think the protected ballroom and military center that we're building at the White House is going to be unbelievable. It's very important. But, this is the airport. This is sort of the lifeblood of a city or a capital, certainly a capital. And this will go from one of the worst, just like Washington. Washington was one of the worst places in this country, and now it's one of the best. You couldn't get into a restaurant because all the restaurants were closing or closed. They were afraid to have it open. Now you can't, if you're a restaurateur, you can't even find space to have a restaurant. The restaurants are booming. So, it's a great thrill. And by the way, if you look, Washington is clean, it's safe. People walk to work. Every day a young man or a young woman comes up and says, "Thank you, sir. I know exactly what he's talking about." They were afraid to walk to work. Now they literally walk to the White House. Washington is now a beautiful and clean. We got rid of the graffiti. 78 monuments and different things have been cleaned. They were strewn with graffiti. We had 28 fountains that not one.
Yeah, but you're getting rid of immigrants. You did all that just to get rid of immigrants. When immigrants, all they do is work. Well, you know what? It is what it is.
One of them worked. For years, for decades, they haven't worked. They're all up in service. And
I would love for him to tackle, well, he's already tackled LA, and look what happened to that. He's tackled Minnesota, and look what happened in that situation. He's responsible for 2 bodies in Minnesota. And now ICE is involved in some shit. I forgot what state that was. I do apologize. But that's 3, maybe 4 bodies in Washington, because all of what he wants to get what he wants, but he doesn't want to hold ICE accountable. But that's his personal, mind you, that's his personal army. That's his personal. He probably takes ICE everywhere he goes. He probably takes ICE everywhere he goes, and he's so mad that that Democrats don't want to support ICE with any more money. The same reason why he's upset at the Senate for not passing the SAVE Act, which is a whole another different thing. So we're going to keep it going.
nobody's seen anything like it. We have a clean. We're changing all the grass in all the parks. That's going to be changed very shortly. The parks are, because the grass is very, grass is like human beings. Grass is a life also. And we're changing, we're raking, cleaning, and changing all of the parks. We don't have people, we don't have the tents anymore. We don't have all the barbed wire up. We don't have the wire up. Washington's become a beautiful city. It's become a hot city. But, even more importantly, the United States right now is the hottest country anywhere in the world.
Mr. President, on the airport. No federal funding will be required. What did you mean when you said Congress?
Sean,
so it's going to be bonded $500 million payment, but the airlines who participate in the project are going to pay for it. If I can just make one point of clarification, we have some permitting we have to do, but we think in the spring, this is both Concourse A. We think we can start construction in the spring of next year. So we're trying to move at the speed of President Trump. It's never fast, but we're going as quickly as possible so we can give a deliverable to the American people.
And the other thing Sean's doing, which I think is so important, maybe more important, I don't think.
Notice that he didn't say anything, or didn't start from jump to say anything about how this project is going to benefit America as far as the economy is concerned. Are there going to be new jobs? New jobs with benefits? Mention that, but they're going to mention project after project after project after project, right? Which is good, should be good for the American people, but again, inflation is down, or inflation is up. Inflation is way up. You can just look at this quarterly. You can look this out on my computer. You can look at the quarter stats, and you can tell that inflation is down by, or up by many, many points. And on top of that, as I told you before, I almost forgot to mention. Remember when I told y'all, some of y'all were here, I think it was last week, and I told you that right around this time, possibly next week, we're going to be running out of oil. I don't know if I ever told you that, but we're going to be specifically running out of oil. And the only way to get any reserves is you're going to be taxpayers' money. You're going to have to get oil. I'm not talking about running out of oil as of running out. I'm talking about oil reserves. And this is the reason why I say, why doesn't he drill? Why doesn't he just go ahead and just drill? It's a very simple concept, a very simple thing. You want to spend buku money. You want to spend buku money on a damn not WWF. You want to spend money on a UFC ring. You want to spend money on making the water green on the Washington. Let me not say that. Spend money on the ballroom. You spent money on a jet, on a big jumbo jet. You put your name damn there on everything, including build a statue of yourself. Put your name, put your name on a $250 bill. Made us do fireworks 3 weeks in a row here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Talks about tax on I can go on and on and on and on and on. Now this man, if your house was tearing apart, would you trust this man to put your house back together? That's the best way I can put it.
It can be more important than this, but he's working on air traffic control. We have an obsolete system. It's 50 years old. You saw the helicopter crash a year ago into a plane. That was a disaster. And things like that would never happen. Bells would have gone off in 4.
Oh, thank you for reminding me. Of course he's taking money from Israel. Duh. A lot of people take money from Israel. All your presidents take money from Israel. All your presidents. And all your Congress people too. Except for Jasmine Crockett, of course, which took absolutely zero.
5 minutes before it happened, you would have heard the bells and whistles would have gone off. And a thing like that couldn't have happened if you had proper air control. So what's happened is we're working very hard on getting the finest in the country now in the world. We've examined the systems of almost every good country in terms of air traffic control all over the world. And we have the best people working on it in the world. And so often you'll see somebody even bunking into each other at an airport. But when planes come too close, when planes, in the case of the helicopter the helicopter hits the plane, we are working on air traffic control to redo the entire system, including the new towers, because the towers are obsolete. You don't think of it. You see a tower and it looks fine. You go into those towers, they're literally falling down. So we're talking about new towers and all new air traffic control, which will give us the safest anywhere in the world.
Why do you think Dr. Fauci invoked the Fifth Amendment so many times today when he has the pardon? And what was stopping him from just giving an honest testimony this morning?
Well, look, I've never been a big fan of Fauci. Why he did that was very simple. His lawyer told him to. I don't know if he would have been better off not doing it. There were a lot of questions that I guess he could have answered, and some maybe he didn't feel comfortable in answering, but his lawyer told him to do that.
Prime Minister Andy Burnham hasn't mentioned publicly migration at all since he's gone into number 10. Did you discuss it quickly?
I did, briefly. He's going to have to mention it because it's killing your country. He's killing your country. And not him, we'll have to see. I know Summer did very little about it. And they're coming from all over the world. They're coming from Africa, they're coming from South America, they're coming from different parts of Asia. And they're invading Europe. They're invading Europe. It's an invasion. And the UK is the prime suspect.
On top of that, Senator John Cornyn of Texas has been hesitant about the confirmation. Seems to be some sort of delay. What is your reaction to his hesitancy?
Well, all I can say is Todd Blanche is outstanding. And I thought it was pretty routine because he's so good. He just wouldn't find a better person. So I don't know, maybe John Cornyn's upset with me because I didn't endorse him. I don't know what it is, but I haven't heard that there's a problem. I heard he's going through quite nicely.
And do you think Senate Majority Leader John Thune, after the comments you heard regarding Save Americans and other stuff, do you think he's still a man for the job?
Well, we're going to find out, and I'll let you know.
Quick intermission. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. Thank you for the support. Please support the channel. And just to relax and enjoy the show, because this is the same old circus you're going to be dealing with for the next, I would say, 2 more years, 3 more years. If he is not impeached by January, if he's not impeached in January.
It was a beautiful service yesterday for Senator Grant, beautiful eulogy that you delivered. As far as Senator Darlene Grant is concerned, based upon your conversations, is she going to focus primarily on foreign affairs like her brother, or will she focus more on domestic issues?
I think domestic, really. I've spoken to her a lot, and she's much more focused on domestic, including costs.
Wishful thinking.
I think she'll be outstanding.
Wishful thinking, my dude. If Obama wasn't gonna pardon him, what makes you think Trump is gonna do that?
He was just confirmed by the Senate.
Yeah, he's great.
Would you like to see him continue with Bill Pulte's work at exposing election?
Oh yeah, sure. I'm sure he will. Bill did a great job, and Jay has just been confirmed. And he's outstanding. He was the head of Sullivan and Cromwell for many years, and he's very outstanding. And I think he's going to do a fantastic job. And Bill was great. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, in light of advanced ChatGPT AI models escaping their lab and conducting cyber attacks, are you considering stronger controls on AI, and would you consider negotiating?
Well, we're looking at AI. We're looking at controls. We're also making sure that we lead. So we're leading China in AI by a lot. China has virtually no controls. It's freewheeling a little bit. We have to be careful in both ways. We don't want to restrict them, where all of a sudden we come in second to China. Whoever wins with AI is going to win. That's how big it is. So it's bigger than the
obviously it's going to be them, not you.
Everywhere. So I don't want to restrict. I know many of these people. I don't want to restrict them from doing great work. Yeah, please.
On what scenario do you see Iran attacking U.S. installations and personnel overseas, and you withdrawing? Or
I don't see that. No, we're not. No, we're gonna hit them very hard. I mean, I can actually say that because in that there's very little they can do about it. It was a different group than we're dealing with. They've already apologized, but we got to smack them a little bit.
When they strike?
Will I always hit back?
Yes.
Pretty much.
On that, sir, is that in response to the attempted ballistic missile strike on Jordan last night? When you say it's our turn,
I think more so that, because it was another smaller event. But no, they sent 8,000 mile-an-hour missiles at us, and fortunately we had our people operating the greatest equipment in the world, namely the Patriot system. Think of it, 5 missiles going 8,600 miles an hour, big ones, coming right at us, and all 5 were shot down. How about that, right? Pretty good. Nobody else could do that but us, yeah.
How was your meeting with President Volodymyr Zelensky yesterday?
It was good.
Did you see a time scale?
No, it was good. Look, he's out doing his thing. I'd like him to end the war. So it's very simple. I get along with both. I get along with President Putin. I get along with President Zelensky. And like I told him, I wanted to end the war, get the war ended. Thousands of people, 25,000 people died last month. That's standard. And it's not acceptable. So I said, just end the war.
On the war, do you want the House to come back before August 31st to act on the Russia and Iran sanctions bill after?
Well, if it's necessary. I mean, it shouldn't be necessary, to be honest. But if it's necessary, I'd like to. You're talking about the Lindsey Graham?
Yeah.
So I'd like them to add Iran as tariffs, not just as sanctions. I think it's important. That's what Lindsey wanted. Because I heard that they have tariffs on Russia, but not on those 5 countries with having to do with Iran. I'd like to see tariffs on Iran. It would make it much stronger. So perhaps you're very good at this. You can maybe tell them. I think they should put in for Russia, but I think they should put in for Iran. And that's really what Lindsay wanted. Yeah.
And on Iran, one more, sir, sorry.
And good job at the dinner the other night.
Thank you.
Did a great job.
Thank you, appreciate that. President Xi told you that China would not give or sell Iran any weapons. There's a new report that Iran's about to get 400 rocket launchers from China going through Pakistan to Iran.
Well, that would be surprising. I mean, things like that happen, but that would be surprising. He told me very strongly he wouldn't partake, and he knows I'd be quite disappointed. Yeah, and he's coming here, I think, on September 24th.
2 questions. First, we're coming up on the 25th anniversary of 9/11, and a good number of 9/11 families have called on New York Mayor Zohar Mamdani to not attend a number of these border services. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think they're having a hard time with Mamdani. The people having to do with anybody having to do with 9/11 right now, on the victim side, and there are a lot of them, they're very unhappy with what's going on in New York, and they're very unhappy with the mayor. I understand that. Yeah, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senate Republicans are underway negotiating the budget. Would you guys see our out the same time? That's something you want to see.
I'll have to look at it, but they should get to say to America. How simple can it be? Voter identification, proof of citizenship. I mean, now you have to understand the Democrats, not one Democrat will sign because they want to cheat. There's no way they can get elected if they don't, if that happens. But we should have unanimous Republican.
See what I mean? Now, how does mail-in ballot, how is that cheating? There are those individuals who either aren't going to have time, don't have the transportation, or elderly, or some of our veterans who need like CATA transport, not CATA, like one of those handicap transportations to go and actually waste their time, get off the bus, will themselves in there and actually go vote. That's what mail-in ballot is for. But he's still stuck on 2020. He's still stuck that Biden had cheated on him, even though he went through all these different types of small these small courts. And because according to a friend of mine, everyone has, or every state has their own Supreme Court. Not the Supreme Court justices themselves, but the very small Supreme Court. So every state has their own Supreme Court, is what my friend told me. So he went to, let's just say, a majority of them, and they all said the same thing. Dude, you did not get cheated. Get over it. And a lot of these Republicans, most of them white, are saying, get over it. You did not get cheated. Just get over it. So he hasn't gotten over it yet. He's this big old crybaby.
Republican support, and if we don't, people should look at those Republicans. but think of it, who would not sign voter identification with photo, and who would not sign proof of citizenship? Only people that want to cheat. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Like I said, he'll never get over it. He'll never get over it. He's too much of a dumbass to not get over it. No voter ID is 100% permanent. It must happen. They are all cheating like crazy. How are they cheating? How do they have the ability to cheat? Because first, you take your ballot, and the person that is standing or surveillancing you they're not really looking right at you, because they're not allowed to look at you because of who you're voting for. Then after you're done, they send you into the back to cast the goddamn thing in. And you're done. You're out of there. They give you a little sticker and you just go about your fucking business. Now, they take these same ballots and they lock them. They take these same valid voters or whatever, and they lock them up in a safe. They lock them up in a safe, wait for these people to come around with guns, call security, and they take them to a facility to get counted. How is that cheating? I mean, we're literally stuck in 2020. But isn't it the same 2020 where he started? Never mind.
Thank you, Beth.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys.
Truly amazing. Dealing with two crazy, stupid ass individuals. One we're stuck with, but the other one we can unstick. We can just completely unstick and just kick out of the community. So I answered a couple of questions while I am getting ready to beat the living heck out of my son in some damn Fortnite. There's always that one person. Trump is 100% right. Trump is always to the average Trump supporter, he's always 100% right. If you don't ID them, first of all, you're going back to immigrants. Wait, I read that wrong. My apologies, I read that wrong. They could be from Mexico or Russia or China. Not possible. Russia nor China has that type of interference, even though they do have the same technology as everybody else. So what are we talking about? Same internet, Google, they have basically the same shit. Same shit. Why would we not have ID to vote? That's a stupid concept, because you bring your ID and then you show it, boom, boom, boom. You get your ballot, bing, bing, bang. You vote for whoever you want to vote for, and you're gone. That's just stupid. But because of Obama, you had to show the birth certificate. He doesn't have the birth certificate. Gotta blame Obama for everything. He lost his shoe. It's Obama's fault. But Obama's, Barack Hussein Obama, he's a good intelligent, but I'm more intelligent than him. Whatever. How would you know where they're from if you don't ID them? Okay. First and foremost, I just agree with you. Obviously, you were preferring to someone else, or some other country. Russia can't do a damn thing. Can't do a fucking thing. China can't do a fucking thing. What does China have to do with our vote, our responsibility of voting over here in America? What does the ambassador of China and the ambassador of Russia have anything to fucking do with the United States of America? Please riddle me that. Would you stop with the bullshit already? I know y'all complete other delusional Trump supporters, but can we live in reality, please? Can we just live in fucking reality? Obama gave us 1.7 million. Obama gave Iran 1.7 billion. Oh, that's because we, according to what I've heard, before Obama, we were supposed to give Iran guns for money or wherever that was. And we didn't give them the guns. So Obama made them a sweet deal. If you are not to create a nuclear weapon, we are allowing you to give you this much money. And they signed a contract stating that they were not going to create a nuclear weapon. But who came and tore that deal up? Obama. Now, don't get me wrong. I got my issues with Obama. I really do. I got issues with Obama. Trust me, it's the same old shit. So, and I voted for the man not once but twice. I voted for the man not once but twice, and he hadn't done shit for the black community. So, it is what it is. But if you were to hold me hostage and you put a pen in my hand and you say, well, which president would you reassign that seat? I would have to say Obama, but there will be some stipulations. Just like when they're harassing Jasmine Crockett every other week that she doesn't support James Tallarico. When she's been supporting James Tallarico the entire time. But you got ignorants out there who just completely just missed that boat. Just want to do videos on her just because simply they don't like her. It's quite crazy. I just need to know from you delusional Trump supporters, when are you ever going to open up your eyes? Just open up your brain a little bit. Just open up your brain a little bit. You hate, for example, you dislike the fact that governors, congressmen, I don't know if it's senators or not, but we might as well just add those in there. Senators and of course presidents take AIPAC money, right? How much you think Trump took?
This is brand.
How much do you think Trump took? I'll wait. I will wait. I'll even give you a guess. It's a lot of money. No, seriously, it's in the it's in the millions. But how much money do you think he took? But yet we're not accepting of anybody else. Like, say, for example, Brian Donalds. Brian Donalds has taken AIPAC money. Wesley Bell has taken AIPAC money. And I don't know much about Wesley Bell, but I do know a con man when I see one. So, and he said, well, this is this. Jasmine Crockett endorsed Wesley Bell. No, she didn't. She just said his name. She just said his fucking name. And I don't know if there's any type of history between Jasmine Crockett and Cori Bush, but I don't know. But they need to get that. They need to get this shit together. They need to get that in line and get this man out of office. Because, like I said, according to y'all, you don't like the fact that Israel is in America business. Is that not true? But yet, Donald Trump is friends with everybody, including Kim Jong-un, the ambassador for China. He's friends with Senator Putin. But wait, we're supposed to be attacking Russia. Instead, we're attacking Pakistan. How much money do you think Trump gave Iran? It was $200 billion. $200 billion off of the same deal. It may not have been that much, but it was a bigger portion. Off of the same exact deal as Obama's deal. Oh, goodness gracious. Trying to be Obama. He just doesn't have it, boy. He wish he had his intelligence. He wish he had his facial structure. He wish he had it all. He wish he had the popularity that Obama has to this day, to this very day. And he's nothing. He's a normal citizen. He is nothing but a normal citizen. Now, he wouldn't talk shit about right there with Obama. It's clearly, and he wouldn't talk shit to Obama when he's in his face. He wouldn't do that. He wouldn't do that. But behind his back, of course, sure. He's Barack Hussein Obama. He's this, just that, this, and the other. But again, if I will vote for Obama again, but there'll be stipulations. And if he doesn't abide by those stipulations, there will be no vote. There will be no vote. Any other questions? Any other questions? I'll take a few more questions. Any other questions? So glad you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. Any other questions? Trump is and always will be a thief. What do you expect would happen? I don't know. Same lame ass business deals that he's been doing in the past for the past centuries. The same deals, same lame ass deals he was doing in Vegas. Thought he was doing quite fine. Why does he not own these buildings in Vegas? Why does he not own his hotel here in Vegas that literally says Trump on the damn thing? Look up BlackRock. Look up BlackRock. One of the three money flow kingpins. Those who are. I think I know who you're talking about. I think I do. They wouldn't happen to be here. Would they resign in Vegas? Would they? I think I know who you're talking about. Only thing I know is Trump is in trouble over here. The only reason why I'm not talking about the corporations. I'm talking about the gangsters here in Vegas have an issue with him, but they can't touch him because he's immune. Thanks to the Supreme Court justice. And he better not be anywhere else in the world because he does have a bounty on his head. Just to let you know. I pray with my Trump Bible. Oh, the one that's upside down? I pray with my Trump Bible while wearing my Trump shoes. And do you have the watch too? You have the Trump watch? You got the Trump shoes with the Trump watch with the Trump phone. All right? And the Trump shirts and the Trump hats. And I hope you got is your mom and dad still alive? If your mom and dad is still alive and they need medication, you go to Trump RX. Go to Trump RX and get your medication. You better not go to that damn website. No, you better not go to that damn website. If any Trump supporter wants to go to that website and get, and I'm talking about the far ones. I'm not talking about the regular Republican ones. I'm talking about the ones from the far right. You can get whatever the hell you want to get. For those regular individuals, do not get anything from that website. Don't do it. Fake watch. It goes along with the fake phone. Yep. And you spend all that money for them shoes too, huh? How much them shoes? Like $400? And you would be crazy to buy them. Ain't no way. I don't give a damn if it was LeVar Ball. I ain't spending no $400 or $500 for no damn pairs of shoes. Are you out of your damn mind? Next question. Any questions? I love this. Kind of makes me grow a little bit, intellectually. Trump real estate. I almost forgot Trump real estate. God damn it. I almost forgot about Trump real estate. Trump real estate, Trump Bitcoin. I mean, he has his. See, this is the thing. This is the thing this is the thing that when you put in the chat what you're putting, you should realize he doesn't care. He does not care. He's still on this revenge tour. He feels like everything has been taken away from him because the IRS is going to take money with it. He still owes money to the IRS. Allegedly. Any other questions? No, but I gave your mom one. Look, man, I'm just here having some freaking fun. I'm finna watch Spider-Man tomorrow. I hope people been telling me it's okay. Don't tell me. I'm taking my kids to go see Spider-Man. All right. Meantime, but between time, just save up on them coupons because I feel sorry for the people who have rigs. And the people who have rigs are going to be spending $70, close to $80 once you round everything up. You're going to round everything to the nearest dollar point just to get back on the road. And just imagine you just spending $70, $80 every place. Well, if you're local, then that's just fucking fine. But if you have to go from state to state to state, good luck. Netanyahu and Trump will get arrested. No, they won't. First of all, Trump will croak before he even enters into jail. He should have been in jail a long time ago. And Netanyahu, I heard about that one guy from New York that said he should be arrested for war crimes. These mob bosses are not even going to get a whiff of jail. That's how corrupted this government is. They're not going to even get a whiff of jail. Wishful thinking, though. Again, it's all about money. It's all about money. It's not about your vote. It's about money. Who are going to be responsible? Now, if there's some, of course, there's going to be some corruption at play, but the only people who are going to be corrupt is that end up corrupting themselves. That's simple. Me as well. Is there anything I should look as far as doomsday? No, there ain't gonna be no doomsday unless, like I said, if they really want to ruin that bag, talking about Trump and Netanyahu and other governments and other ambassadors and governors involved, they're not going to do it because they're making money off of you. You're the project. You're the secret. Remember secret societies? You're the secret. Mandani has a black. Not going there. So I wish he was. I wish he would have read. He's not. He doesn't have the power. He does not have that power because he's not in that position. Who's going to make the arrest? A cop? The cop will be out of a job before he even says boo. It's like, excuse me, you're fired. Oh, okay, cool. Our government is killing America. Duh. I'm talking about Spider-Man, not politics. I'm sorry. Put it in the, hold on. Let me put it in the thing. Me as well. Is there anything I should look as far as doomsday? Other than Robert Downey Jr., hopefully they don't fuck up this character, which I am going to be looking forward to the doomsdays. I'm only looking forward to the doomsdays, and I will be looking forward to Gambit and Shang-Chi. That's the only thing I wanted to see was Gambit and Shang-Chi. I'm sorry. I am sorry. I am a Gambit fan. I want to see what Channing Tatum can do. And so far, he has not disappointed. So I'm going to be looking forward to that. And I'm also going to be looking forward to if what they're going to do is Hugh Jackman's character. Because he's either going to be in this one or he might be in Secret Wars. Whichever one. A word that says his bullet is arrest warrant. Be careful with those words, sir. Tony, I advise you be careful with those words. Reword it somehow. What up there, Pimpin? Mandani was born in Africa. He was born in Africa, then he went to India, he became a Muslim, and then, yeah, I know all that. He's never called himself African. That's his problem. We don't announce him. It's the same thing as same thing they said about Kamala Harris, and it's like she's half black. And she's an Eastern Indian person. Just because she did a little bump and grind allegedly with Montel Williams, that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean shit. All right, but look, thank you for putting up with my black ass. I will be live this coming Sunday. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to do it. Well, wait a minute. What's today's date? What is today's date? What is today's date? What is today's date? Friday. Today is Friday. I might be coming live on Friday. Maybe, maybe not. But I will not be live on Saturday because I will be taking my kids out to dinner. We're gonna have some. You just want to spend some time with my children. Just want to spend some time with my children. Oh crap! You better get to that rent. You better get to that rent, homeboy. Better get to that rent. Now, if you do not, okay, let me read this because Tony has been patient. Jamaican and Indian on the dot. Again, means nothing. If you don't announce your Africanity, then that means nothing to me. But again, I haven't told you this, so this is what I will say. Out of all the candidates that I've ever looked at, some of them I studied, others I have not. The only ones that I do know are Kamala Harris, okay? J.D. Vance. I'm not voting for anybody on the Republican side. If there's one candidate that is even worthy, and it ain't the guy from California either. I guess it would have to be Kamala Harris. Now, this would be her third time if she decides to run. This will be her third attempt. So we will see what happens. But then again, said it before, I'll say it 1,000 times. They are not going to let a woman in office. They're not. If they can't even put Jasmine Crockett in to pick her to be in the Senate seat, what makes you think they're going to pick Kamala Harris, even though she was a VP already? What makes you think she's going to actually? She's not. They're not going to do it. This is how corrupt this world is. But like I said, I should be doing something tomorrow. I should be on live tomorrow. If you have not done so, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for participating in the We-On-Loc Nation show, to Rock Nation channel. Please become a member of the We-On-Loc Nation channel. If you can do that, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Support, support, support. Peace, and I'll see you in another video.